Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I have a very interesting news article I'm going to share with you. I'm going to let you listen to the audio of what's going on with this particular story. I shared it on Facebook and my reaction was, who the hell do these people think they are? That was the first thing that came to my mind. But anyway, there's an article on Fox News where it says Tennessee parents are forced to sign a waiver stating that they will not eavesdrop on their children's online lessons. This is what a particular school district was asking or stating. So I'm going to let you listen to the audio of this. It was just, to me, it was mind-blowing that they would even have the nerve or the gall to say that the parents don't have a right to sit in on their children's classes. So let you have a listen at this for yourself so that you can see what one parent had to say about the whole situation.
A school district in Tennessee is taking heat for asking parents to sign a form agreeing not to eavesdrop on their kids' virtual classes over concerns they could overhear confidential information.
But after pushback from parents, Rutherford County School District is allowing them to tune in with permission from the teacher, but parents are not allowed to record the classes.
Here to react is founder of Proclaiming Justice to the Nations and mother of 5, Lori Cordoza Moore. Lori, thank you so much for being here. What in the world is going on?
Thank you for having me.
Help us out. Why would a school, and I think I might know the answer, why would they not want parents to see what teachers are teaching their kids?
Well, obviously, because they are teaching our children propaganda that they should not be teaching. They are trying to socialize our children. We have had a major problem. Excuse me. We've had a major problem in education, not just here in Tennessee, but across the country, where they are indoctrinating our children with propaganda. And not only that, they're telling parents in this agreement that they had to sign that if they violate, or if they know that somebody else is violating and tuning in, they're to tell on that parent. And if they violate this after they sign the agreement, if they violate it, then they can remove the child from the virtual learning classroom. What does that mean? Does that mean somebody from the school district is going to knock on my door and pull my kid out of my home, his virtual classroom? Or is it going to be my tax dollars that fund my child's public education? My child won't get to participate in education because of it. What are they trying to hide? What is the problem?
Yeah.
Why won't they let us sit in?
Lori, it's absurd that they're asking this. The statement about confidential information is also absurd, having taught in these classrooms for many years. But we do have a statement from the Rutherford County Schools. I want to read it and get your reaction to that in particular. It reads, "We are aware of the concern that has been raised about this distance learning letter that was sent to parents. We have issued new guidance to principals that parents can assist their children during virtual group lessons with permission of the instructor, but should refrain from sharing or recording any information about other students in the classroom." So it sounds to me like now you can't record the session when in fact students may need that reinforcement later. They may not have been clear on something that happened in class and need it to be replayed. So are we disadvantaging kids now with this ridiculous policy, Lori?
It's ridiculous. It's so hypocritical because they've been data mining our children for years. Compliments of Common Core. What are they keeping on our children? And you're right. What if our child wants to go back and re-listen to that segment of the class? What is it that the other kids are sharing that has to be confidential? You know, it used to be back in the day when parents could actually sit in on a class and they could monitor. But things have changed because we're not using education to teach our children how to read, how to write, how to do math. No, now we're social justice teaching our children. We're teaching them things that we don't want our children. And that's why, as we're called, helicopter parents, snowplow parents,
Yeah, I understand we have some privacy concerns about recording and sharing other people's children. I don't think parents should be helicoptering over lessons, but we definitely should be understanding what our children are learning in public schools and listening to what they're hearing. Lori Cardozo-Moore, thank you so much for your time this morning.
So you've just heard this ridiculous policy they are trying to put in place in this particular school district. That is ridiculous. And I'm so glad that parents are brave enough to speak up and say, what are you talking about? What do you mean eavesdropping on a virtual learning class that's in your home? And for this school to even think that that's a reasonable thing to do is just ridiculous. It is utterly ridiculous to say that a parent can't sit in on the class. And again, as one of the guests on the show spoke, what is it that's so confidential that another student would be sharing in the class with 30 other kids, 20 or 30 other kids, depending on the class size? No student should be saying anything confidential or sharing anything confidential, period. So it obviously sounds as though they're trying to lock the parents out of what is being taught in the class. And so they're trying to implement a rule to bind you to it. And if you're caught breaking that rule or anyone else in your house, then they can do A, B, C. And so obviously a lot of parents are concerned about that, because what if the child is in their virtual learning class and a parent just so happens to walk by and a teacher sees them walking by, perhaps going to the kitchen or something? Are they going to say that this parent was violating that policy and eavesdropping just by walking from one room to the other in their own house? Because there was a situation that was recently reported where a student was in a room where they had a BB gun or something like that on the wall, and the teacher used the camera, I guess the camera that's in her room, to kind of spy around in the virtual class of the student's home. And so they were able to see a gun on the wall, and they called authorities to that home. So are you saying that parents don't have a right to have weapons? Now, again, in this situation, it was, I believe, a BB gun. But you see how that teacher violated the privacy of that home concerning a gun. I mean, you have parents who literally buy their children guns as gifts. You see pictures all over social media where whole families are taking pictures with weapons, including small children. And so for this teacher to make that report and send the police to this parent's home, to this family's home, and it turns out to be a BB gun, that makes you wonder, is this safe for your family? You see? And so this whole issue right there of saying that parents don't have a right to spy on or eavesdrop on their children's class, but yet this teacher in another situation gave herself a right to spy on what was going on with what was hanging on the wall in that house. So, I mean, what do? You can't walk past if your child is learning. You can't have anything hanging on the wall, because if the teacher doesn't like what's hanging on the wall, she's going to report it. You see, so this is the type of strong arming that we are seeing happening right before our eyes. But again, parents are pushing back, because at the end of the day, the parents are responsible for the children, and for the school to take this role of saying that you can't sit in on the class or you can't record the class. Your child might need to go back, like they stated, and listen to it again because they may have missed something, but they're saying, nope, we're going to make a rule that you as a parent can't do that. You can't even sit in. So now this is why they're getting an awful lot of pushback, rightfully so. Let me know what you think about these ridiculous rules in the comment section. As a parent, even if you're not a parent, what do you think about those rules? Because that sounds like a bit much to me. Again, share your thoughts in the comment section. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, share the video, and like. With that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.